on a New Year's Eve. I'm Kevin. Matt is here with me, and the cool picture showed up on the screen. We're trying a new program, Riverside, instead of Restream. I have another week left on the free edition, so let's see how this works. Everyone will have to let us know how it sounds, how the stream is sounding. If you guys like anything better, yeah, let us know. And Matt and I are going to talk about 2025, 2026 and just kind of run with it and see where it goes. And you guys please chime in the comments, let us know what you thought of the year 2025 and well what you expect in the year to come. Matt, my friend, how are you doing?
So much to come, Kev. So much to come. Have you ever considered that some years sound better than other years? Have you ever
Yes,
thought of that before?
absolutely.
All right,
2025 is a
I
great
was.
sounding year.
Oh, you think so?
Totally. Oh, you think
Oh,
so?
I no, I can't wait to switch it. I was
Oh,
thinking about
interesting.
this. Yeah, I was thinking about this last night, thinking about how some years just sound better than other years, and I thought, I remember just got a quick story here because I was thinking about this last night. I remember being a kid, and every year when we had an artificial Christmas tree in my family, and never in my life have I had a real Christmas tree.
Oh man.
So yeah, I added to my list of faults. Um, just so, and what I would do as a kid is we would get the box, and when we were packaging it up, I would write the year on the box, and I remember
Hmm.
writing the year 1997 and crossing it off and thinking, I don't like the year 1998. 1998 sounds nowhere near as cool as 97. And I don't know.
Interesting.
I just, there were just some year I thought 2009 sounded cool. And I think
Yeah, I get
2026
that.
sounds cool. Yeah. What was the last cool? So other than 2025, what was the
Actually, I like
last
25,
cool?
2020. I guess I'm pretty basic. I think that the
The
ones that were
zeros,
yeah
the
by
fives and the
fives,
zeros.
yeah fives and the
All right.
zeros somehow stick
Multiples of
out to me.
five.
But you know what's funny with 1998? When I think of that year, I think
I know what I
of
think of.
Star Wars: Phantom Menace.
Oh,
That must have been
guess
that year that came out.
what do you think I think of in 1998? Any guesses?
1998. That's probably the last time the Yankees won
I'll
the
give you.
World Series.
You're not that far. Actually, not that far. It is sports related though. It is to do with the Yankees. It is widely considered not the, but one of the greatest sports teams of all time. 125 and 49. The
Wow.
Yankees. The Yankees that year. 4-game
1998.
sweep of the San Diego Padres in the World Series, clinching their 20. Had to be the 24th World Series. 21 of those. 23rd, 24th,
Nobody
25th.
cares. Nobody
And
cares.
nobody cares. It's so long ago at this point.
That is interesting. So
Uh,
that would have been the Jeter, Posada,
yes, you remember,
Mariano
yeah, Jeter,
Rivera
Posada,
era.
Pettit,
Yeah, Pettit.
David Cohn, David Wells, Mariano Rivera, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill,
Right.
Scott Brocious,
I remember those
uh,
teams. Though
Joe
that was when I
Torre.
was big into baseball. I was playing probably that was probably around my first year of fantasy baseball. Nah, that was probably more like
I tried that
2001,
once.
2002. Oh
I
man, there were
I
a
was
couple years, Matt.
so
I
bad.
was I was so good at times. I was so good, like too good. Like I'd be watching baseball all day long. I mean,
Mm,
all day. And it really be until I moved to Germany. My first love of sports was absolutely baseball. Unfortunately,
of
my
course.
team has been bad forever, and well, it's hard to watch every
Historically
day.
bad. Remember earlier when we were talking on here earlier in the year, Kev? There was comparison to the Spiders or whatever. The Colorado Rockies were on pace with like the I don't even know what they were. The Cleveland
That's right.
Spiders
That's
of
right. Something like that.
1899 of being
Yeah, right. Dudes
historically
playing
bad.
without glove. Yeah, they're
Yes,
playing
yeah,
barehanded out
right,
there. Like you're almost that bad. Yeah,
right, yeah, right,
then
right,
you have
right. They
problems.
they
I
should
just see
have.
Prodigal Son. We do not have video for this because Matt is in the CIA, so he can't show his face. So that's why
Why don't
there's
you have
no.
video? You
Well, I
usually
don't want
put
them just
yours
looking
on.
at me. Yeah, that's just kind of weird. I mean, I guess I could. Okay, I
Well,
only have my
maybe
badge.
because now it
You guys
just
want to
does look
see
a little
little
strange.
Kevin?
I don't know what you see, Kev, but all I see is a
Oh yeah,
black
I turned it
square
on.
on YouTube.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's all it is. I don't see the background at all. It's just
Oh
a
what?
giant black square.
Oh man, I've got like the beautiful scene
No, it's
of
all covered.
Salzburg fireworks. Oh, that's
Nah.
lame. Okay, what does the audience see? Do you guys see? Now you see my face, unfortunately, but do
No,
you
I don't.
guys? Does anyone else see the
There you
fireworks
are.
over
There you are.
Salzburg?
There you are.
Yeah,
There you
here's
are.
me.
But the thing that it's doing,
Oh,
Kev, is
that's
it's switching back and forth. Whenever one of us talks, it switches who's the larger.
interesting. See,
Yeah.
you guys were trying out this new program that is
It's free,
see,
by
it
the
doesn't.
way.
That's interesting though because it doesn't show me any of that. That's kind of fascinating.
Usually when we do this, I have Chrome
Oh,
with
maybe
you and
that's not
I,
okay.
and then
Mhm.
I pull up the actual YouTube site just so I can see myself. Yeah, see fathers. Oh, I see
Well, that's so
fathers.
weird. Well, why doesn't it show me that? Okay, I don't see.
Yeah,
All
and
right,
your
there's
camera's
already.
terrible,
I know
horrible.
this isn't my good camera.
Oh,
I didn't plan on being on camera.
you know, that looks better right there. Whatever that is.
This
Now
one.
we're kind of small.
Do you see the fireworks?
I barely. You're covering it a little bit, but
Man,
a little
that is
bit.
so like seriously for me. You should see my screen. It's beautiful. I
I could
like just
see it,
looking at it, like
and I
for
could see
real.
the logo in the corner.
Oh, no, the
Who
logo's
made that,
cool
by
to
the
me.
way? Did you make that?
The logo? No, we paid for the logo. Ain't gonna
Oh,
lie.
oh, you paid
And
for
it's
that.
funny. It's actually hilarious. Did you see who was it? It was one of the creators for the Pelican Plus. They have almost an identical logo.
Do they
Do you remember
really?
that? Did we
They
talk
must
about
have
that
used
on
the
the
same
show?
guy. No, I
Oh
don't.
yeah, for sure. No, I think it's like exactly the same. It's pretty hilarious actually.
How much does a logo cost, if I can ask you that?
Couple grand. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I think it was a couple $100. I think you have to pretty much you
Really?
get a bunch of people who. Yeah, I think that's what it
Nuh-uh.
was. If I
You
remember.
paid like $300 for that thing?
I don't remember how much. Couple, yeah, 200, 300. something like that.
Wow, I'm in the wrong line of work.
Yeah, yeah. It
know-
is harder than you think, though.
It is not. I remember when we first started this show, I was coming up with one for us, and it's like I couldn't quite see it at all. Like I don't know if you're talking, Kev, or what, but your mouth is moving and there's no sound.
Oh, do you hear me?
Yeah, maybe you should turn your camera off. You're so out of sync. It's making me dizzy.
Is it really? See, that's another thing.
So like you're
It's-
talking, but there's no yeah. Our
Unbelievable.
sound is matched up. I see Father's prayer request here for Ted Jones, a parishioner that passed on Friday. His funeral was today. Certainly pray for him in my rosary this afternoon.
Yeah,
4 o'clock here
I
on the
will
East Coast, so
as
I'll
well.
certainly put him into mine. Okay, you're I think we're just switching the pictures back and forth here.
Really? Okay, that's so weird.
Yeah,
Nice.
the
That's weird.
pictures of me and you keep jumping around all over the place.
Oh, okay. See, sorry everyone if this is bothering you. This is a new program that I'm trying to
That's free.
trying to figure out.
It's free.
Father says I paid a ton of money because I refused to use AI. That is actually not true because I don't think AI was quite as big back when we did that 2 or 3 years ago. But yes, also it could have been true because I would not have used AI because
I would have done it for $5.
I would much rather. I know, but I'd rather I actually would rather pay money. I really would. I am not a fan, as everyone knows by now. AI has its purpose, but I think especially when you get people out of a job, for that. See, Dominique Dominique she did the Facebook thumbnail for this, and I could do it on AI too, probably. But you know what? I'd rather have a friend of mine do it for free. So
you want to know what's kind of cool? You make logos with Grok. I've tried it, and you can get some really, really, really cool things. And then you ask it to be modified as it gives you results. I've done that a few times, and change this, make this look a little grittier, add a sunset, I don't know, whatever. And I've gotten some really, really, really cool things from Grok. So just for the future, Kev, figured I'd save you. Figured I'd save you a
I'll
couple
send it to
grand.
Dominique. I'll have a friend do it. I want her to slave a little bit. There's more honor in that.
So what are some things 2025 that if you think about it, this was the year we saw Prevost rise to the it feels
Big
like
year.
forever ago for me that
does.
he was elected.
It really
I feel
does.
like he's been the not so vicar of Christ for the last 30 years of my life.
Yeah. that's true.
No, but it's only been what, 6-7 months, I think May or so 7 months or so
Yeah,
out.
I was in America.
Not
funny enough.
Yeah. And it just feels like forever ago with that. We had the inauguration in January. We had Prevost in May. Other than that, though, have there been any really big? I don't know. I think
Charlie Kirk. And that's when it came up in the show I did with Stephen Cox. That was a really big one. Yeah, I think the death of Bergoglio, Prevost, Charlie Kirk, and Trump. I think that those are the ones that come to my mind. I think that there's a lot that's gone on in the world. I mean, but nothing super new. Israel and Palestine are still at war, Russia and Ukraine are still at war. You know, that's nothing new. I mean, Nigeria has I think exploded a bit into a bigger thing, but yeah, I think in general, it's yeah, it's been kind of a what is it?
Well, there
Crazy? Is that
have
the
there
right
have
word?
been. I think the whole thing with Charlie Kirk was really. I don't know. It's hard to tell where that is going to go and where that's going to take things. Personally, in my opinion, I think Turning Point USA is going to crumble. I don't think it's going to last very long. I don't think that
I
Erica.
agree.
I don't think she,
Well, it's
regardless
like
of whatever
MAGA's
about
going to
her,
collapse
but
without Trump, right? Because when you have a great personality and one guy who's just like this superhuman person, holds things together. I think Kirk was like that. And I think Trump's like that. And I think when they're gone, you see it immediately that things start to fall apart. And honestly, Matt, that's actually a really good point that I think has happened in 2025 is the absolute fracture of the conservative or the right wing alt
very
media.
true. Very
The
true.
right wing alt media that was in, let's say, in June was totally buddy buddy. They're all in this together, mostly at least. And then really after Charlie Kirk, it has completely exploded. And now you have all sorts of factions who hate each other and they're all trying to pile on each other and trying to destroy each other. And it's messy, man. And that, I guess we'll get into the predictions for next year, but that'll play a part in it.
2026 is a good sounding. What can go wrong? It's a good sounding year. Maybe we'll go to the moon in 2026. It's
Why do you think
time.
that sounds better?
It's
That's
time.
All right, chat. Let us know which year is more
So what do you-
pleasing to the ear, 2025 or
What-
2026? Let us know in the
I'm
chat.
curious your take because I don't think we've ever covered this really. What is your take on Erica Kirk?
I almost don't even want to talk about it. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm really
You want to give me a
afraid
brief?
to give a
Oh, okay.
comment on her because I think it is a tough thing to put yourself in a position of someone who's grieving. Like I really actually don't want to judge
Everyone
that.
grieves differently.
Yeah, and that's true.
So I'm joking.
I'm
sorry. I had to. Sorry. Sorry.
It's like it's hard to say because it's like I really don't want to do it because I'm not in a position. But just
Okay.
purely from my opinion, I think you can say it looks pretty weird. There's been a lot of stuff that looks pretty weird, and I think that Matt, I think that's another point.
So-
It's actually a really good topic that I think it's something that we've really lost as a society is the ability to grieve publicly and to actually have a set of rules for grieving. We used to have that, Matt. You'd wear black for
There
like
would
3
be
years.
rules. That's right.
Yeah, there were rules for grieving. And I'm sorry,
Jackie
Matt, but
Kennedy.
Erica Kirk was like out on a stage like what a
Every week?
after. I mean, like again, I really tried to be careful not to
She-
comment on it, but it gets a little weird. It does.
Well, what's odd too is that now she took over Turning Point USA. You know how wonderful for her, and she doesn't have what Charlie had. Regardless of what you think of him, and I have my opinions of him, but he had he was pretty good at interacting with people who were on college campuses. She doesn't have that. She's not going to be able to do that.
No.
She doesn't have that intellect. She
No
doesn't
one
have
does. Yeah.
that. I don't know if he. I don't know if charisma is the right word, but she just doesn't have that, and she's focusing on building up red walls and all of these things. I think it's absolute slop. But she's just not going to be able to run the business.
I don't think any
And probably
man
nobody
would
could.
either.
Yeah,
I think Charlie
yeah,
Kirk was a special individual. I do. I mean, again, I'm not saying that he's a saint or anything. I just think as a leader, as a man who formed an organization, he was a special character. And when someone like that just gets murdered, you can't just put the pieces together. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. I think absolutely it'll collapse. And honestly, TPUSA had a huge part to play in Trump's election. It's just true.
Oh yeah, yeah. In fact, I forget what show I was watching, but they said that there is a I forget how they broke this demographic down, but a pretty good chance that that organization alone did swing the election towards him. I don't know how much you can prove that or what you can really. I mean, I remember they said
They
Oprah
got the young vote.
gave Obama 1.213 million. I don't know who comes up with this stuff. Maybe people who are much smarter than me at this, but I don't know. And what's odd too is she recently had an event where she brought Nicki Minaj, and I think this is kind of a good point to talk about here. She brought Nicki Minaj on stage, and now Charlie Kirk had been on record of saying young women should have nothing to do with Nicki Minaj, and now here she is with Erica Kirk.
Interesting.
on the yeah, it is a clip out there. And now here she is with Erica Kirk on this stage promoting so-called conservative values. Is this the conservatism that we want to be on display in front of hundreds of thousands of young Americans, and to make them think that this is where we are as a country? No. And I don't know. I think a lot is. I think she doesn't know what to do, and she's trying to.
Sure, she shouldn't.
She does.
I
Right,
think-
and she shouldn't. Yeah, I agree. She
mean,
doesn't know
come
what to
on.
do, and she shouldn't know what to do.
No, come on.
But
And I mean,
yeah.
first of all, I mean, Matt and I probably have. Everyone knows we have very old-fashioned opinions on this. I don't think a woman should be running any organization. I think a woman should be home with her children. I mean, I think that's how it should be. That is the Catholic system, the Catholic family. Now, in some extreme situations, women can, be heads of organizations, and it can happen, and they could do a good job. But it's more rare than for men to be able to do a good job. Again, this is just reality. And I think, again, to ask her to go in and take a place of someone who is not just a good leader of an organization, an incredible one, someone who is truly looked upon as being a next future president of the United States, not next, to future.
Do you think he would have? Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, I do.
Do you think he would have won?
He would certainly have been in the realm. Yes.
I think. I mean, I see. Just reading the chats. I don't agree with. I don't think Charlie conserved anything, and I don't really agree. I think I watched a show. Who hosted it? Steve Cox hosted it, and American Reform made a great point, saying that conservatism is a defensive position. And if you think about it, it's true. I remember even going back to the Bush, McCain, Romney era. We always talked about, I'm a Reagan conservative. The young people are so far removed from Ronald Reagan. We don't want to hear these things anymore. But I agree. Erica Kirk doesn't know what to do, and I mean, I think there's a lot of information on her that I'm not going to bring up now and kind of dive into. But
I think with the conservatism, I agree. I think what we call conservatism is pretty pathetic. But I do think, and I listened quite a bit to Charlie Kirk. He wasn't like my number one podcast, but I knew
Ben
him
Shapiro
quite,
was number one.
quite well. Yeah, Ben Shapiro is definitely number one. And then Sede
Same.
Picante was number two. I'm kidding, guys. But Charlie Kirk, he was, when you're talking about conserving things, he did have some. I'm not saying all, but he did have some traditional values. He did have some values of manliness and hard work and ethic, and and putting the not the cross on your back, but I think he would even have said that. I think he did have some traditional Christian values. So I mean, when you talk about conservatism, again, I'm not saying he had all of them. I'm not saying he held everything that we hold, but he did have some very conservative, actual traditional conservative values. So I got to give him a little bit of credit there, and I think that's something that a lot of them don't have. And I think that he was a very, very real Christian, who truly did. I think he loved Jesus. I think that's true. Now, again, I'm not saying he was a Catholic. I'm not saying anything about that, but I do think there was some goodness in him, and it's just not going to be someone you can replace. And I think that I think the bigger picture is, because TPUSA is going to be a big problem. I think politics in 2026 is going to be a big problem. But I think it's interesting to see what happened in the media, because of how quickly you see people who are your friends, all of a sudden you just stab them in the back. It's just like almost no hesitation. Just like, okay, yep, you're dead to me. I'm gonna turn on you immediately, and it's happening like almost every day at this point.
Well, Shabbat Shalom.
Some,
I think.
yeah.
I think. What one of the points you made too about media being fractured is we're really seeing, I think, the death of the New York Times, CBS, ABC. As time goes by and media evolves and generations pass along, you're going to just see the way people consume news and all of that change. There was a video about the news in Somalia. I don't know if you've paid any attention to this, but it was exposed by a young
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Sorry,
Somalia. It is Somalia. Yeah,
Somalia in Minnesota,
Yeah.
and the young man who took care of all of this got 80 million views
YouTuber.
on
Yeah.
his video.
breaking
There's
news.
no right. I mean, you have CNN getting 100,000 viewers a night, or whatever
Yeah.
the pathetic numbers are. Those
Yeah.
those outlets will die out at some point, because
Yes.
they're just not doing that. People are getting their news on
Yeah,
TikTok and
Nick
X and-
Fuentes. And I say it in the comments. Nick Fuentes is the next CNN. Now, I think that comes with its own problems. and it's certainly different problems. Like CNN is a very different problem than Nick Fuentes. I mean, CNN is a propaganda machine. Literally, it is a propaganda machine. Nick Fuentes is not a propaganda machine, but he has his own problems. He will say exactly what he thinks, but unfortunately, a lot of what he thinks is just garbage. So I mean, I think that's the problem with Nick Fuentes is that he will tell you a lot of truth, but it's mixed in with a very, very badly based moral sense.
Do you think there will be a point in our lifetime, Kev, where there is no CNN, Fox News, where it's just not a thing anymore? Or do you think it'll
Yes.
still exist
Yes.
quietly? Like, or you think it'll
No,
be,
no.
or do you think television, as we will be flipping the channels, will
For
be
sure.
gone?
Oh yeah. 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 I mean, in our
'Cause
lifetime,
people-
assuming we live to be 70 or 80, 100% it'll be gone.
Because
For
people are streaming even now. I mean, I've met people who they have televisions that it's not hooked up to anything. They just use their smart TV to access YouTube or streaming Netflix or whatever on it. They don't even have cable anymore. And excuse me, this changed so much even from when I was growing up and even from when I was a young adult that, I mean, you just watch these channels without thinking much of it. And now here we are where media has evolved so very quickly where this, I agree. I think that television at some point is going to be gone. I know people are going to watch their sports and all of that, but you could stream these things on your iPad now and on your laptop or on a nice screen with your desktop computer. I think it's going to go away. I wonder if there's going to be a big invention again soon, Kev. We haven't. When was the last time we had a big invention?
Huh. It's
We
a
need
good
one.
question, man. It's a really good
A
question.
big
I mean,
one.
I think there's a lot of interesting rabbit holes to go down that about how we've kind of stopped in our progress, and I think there could be many different reasons for that. I mean, it also, there's a conspiracy that it's because we only had a certain amount of alien technology and they haven't come back. I'm sure Matt and I agree that's
Send the
case.
aliens.
Exactly. Send the aliens, bring us new technology. But I mean, real quickly, I want to comment boomers and boomer mindset will never change. The boomers are going to die. The boomers are dying. So their mindset absolutely will change. So, and just to comment on that real quickly. And it's interesting too, Matt, that I've seen, I watch like movie reviewers fairly often because I think you can actually get a pretty good glimpse of society from movies and from how films are doing and what's getting a lot of,
Yeah.
money and whatnot. I just find it interesting. And Hollywood had one of the worst years they've had in, I think, 35 years, the worst year in 35 years. I think that's another point. The technology is just gone. The people don't want to leave their homes because they can just stream something from Netflix or YouTube. And so absolutely. I think movie theaters will be like opera houses.
Movie
I
theaters.
think it will. It'll become
I
like,
was
hey, it's a
losing.
niche thing. It'll be a niche thing. It'll be, hey, yeah, the opera still exists. Movie theaters will exist, but it'll be very niche. And I think that maybe you'll have one or two CNN, Fox Newses, but I don't think in 50 years. No, I don't think so. As Matt, as you know, I actually tend to think that that our society will go away from technology.
You want to know what I have been seeing online? Generation Z are buying flip phones. Now, I don't mean the Samsung Galaxy smartphone that looks like an iPhone that you flip shut. I mean 2001 flip phones. I saw two people, a young man and a young woman, both make a little vlog about themselves going to the store, turning in their iPhone, and getting one of those phones. The thing that I thought about that though is that's cool and on all that though, but I don't know if I could do that. I think of what I watch on my iPhone now. I use Google or I use Apple Maps all the time when I'm driving. I am so reliant on.
Maps is
I
a
don't
good
know where
point.
I don't know where I'm going anymore without the routes that I know how to take very very well. I still put the stupid thing on for some. It's just locked into me to just do
Yeah,
that.
that's fair. That's
You
fair.
know,
Yeah, when I should not say all technology. I think you have a good point there, Matt. That I think our use of Google and whatnot will probably remain for a while. But I guess more of my point is more social media. Because I think social media is
But I
it's
just don't-
it's so fake. It's completely like it used to be bad with bots, but with AI, it's done. Like, it's finished.
It is weird.
Tie
There's
it-
so
tie a
many
knot on it.
videos that are so realistic looking now that you don't even know what you're looking at anymore.
Yeah.
It's and now what you can do with AI in transforming you or me or anybody into a scene or whatever. There's this trend online that I saw where people are using AI to take their parents or their grandparents and put them into a costume and say, "You dressed up as this character last year, don't you remember?" And they're like, "I don't remember this," and it's just AI manipulating the picture, and it looks authentically. It looks so authentic,
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
it's kind of freaky. But I still use no. I mean, there's a lot on my phone. I do like to scroll through Twitter. I do like to watch YouTube. I do check my mail. I do check. I use maps all the time. I do use music. I use a lot of these things on here. I do banking
Yeah,
on my phone and all that. I don't know if I could
sure.
just go back to a flip phone now. I don't know if that is ever going to happen for me, but I do think that our society as a whole is not going to be as connected as we are today. I remember, maybe you remember when MySpace came out, and I thought thinking to myself, this is so
Yes.
weird that like I could sit here because if you grew up how I did, we had a computer room at
Yeah.
my home. If you wanted to go online, which we didn't start off with the internet, but if you wanted to go online, you had to go to the room down there and sit on that computer and wait. We were never so connected to anybody, and so yeah, and hear the dial up, and thinking like, wow, I could these people that I knew from being young, I can add them as a friend on MySpace. I
Yeah.
thought that was so
I mean, you could have
strange.
music. You remember that? MySpace was
We were
awesome.
coding. Yes, we would add top friends list. We would add a song. You had to know what you were
Yes.
doing to add a song. I figured it out after. I think, man,
What
I
song
think
did you
my
have, Matt?
song. It might have
I
been
had
Green
you
Day.
two. You two. It's a beautiful day.
You too.
Right.
It's a beautiful. You too was a huge band. Wow. I
Oh
think I
yeah.
had Green Day. I think I had Wake Me Up When September Ends, but I
Oh,
could be
that's a good
wrong.
song.
Here
Yeah.
comes the rain again. I think it was that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm
That's kind of sad though.
I'm pretty
Jeez,
sure.
man. Were you
It's
depressed?
terrible. Green.
Matt was like an emo. Oh
Not at
my
all. I
gosh.
actually
Now I
hated
can
emo
totally
people.
picture Matt. I can totally
No,
picture
I
Matt with like
actually
the
hated.
dark hair,
No,
wrinkly
I hated
eyes.
that whole thing. I would see people out in the
Oh,
store with black nail polish on. You're
that would be epic.
disgusting. The devil lives in
Yeah.
you. I remember paying for the internet I remember paying for the phone by the minute. 20
Yeah.
minutes of a phone call. You can buy this
Crazy.
card and you'll
Isn't that
get.
amazing? Yeah.
We lived like that.
Yeah. We were
Isn't it weird
back in the
though?
Stone
Now
Ages.
here we are, right, saying the boomers are going to die out. The boomers are so out of touch. There's going to be a time where people say the same thing
That's
about
us.
Gen Z.
Yeah.
What about Gen Z is so out of touch. Their
Yeah.
run is over. They they don't have it anymore. They're not what they once were. It's gonna happen,
But then, so Matt, what will the future generations rebel against us? So
man.
usually it's the next two after. So the Gen Z and what is it? Gen
It's
X? No, not
generation
Gen X. What's Alpha? No, what
generation
is it?
Alpha is next.
Is it
Yes.
Alpha after Z? Z and then Alpha. Yeah. What are they going to rebel against that the millennials did? I wonder. Like, what is our primary fault as a generation?
Ooh.
I'm actually not sure. Anyone in the comments, let us know. I've watched a couple of videos about that, but I kind of always forget millennials. Like, what is our primary
Our
issue? And I think
fault.
because millennials are the ones who lived through the change of the internet.
The
They're the
tech
ones
boom.
who
Yes.
were kind of young while the internet was growing, and so I think that was certainly probably. I bet you our biggest thing, I bet, will be addiction to the internet, addiction to our phones. And because I think that maybe Gen Z too, because they were literally born into it. But it's an interesting question. I wonder if Gen A or whatever it is, Gen Alpha, if they will be the ones who are like, yeah, boy, those our stupid grandparents can't get off their phones, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to be like that. We're actually going to read a book. That'd be pretty cool.
That's a good point. I would have to think about that a little bit more as to what the downfall of millennials is. I think there's a lot. I think there was a lot of old school parenting methods that we fell under that people kind of realized, hey, maybe that's not so good. One of the things that I could think of is my generation was raised on being told to cry it out. If a child is crying, you put them in the corner and ignore them. They'll get over it. And
Mm.
I think we've learned that it doesn't really work, and that's kind of not normal. I think every generation really has its own faults from generations past. I mean, people talk about the greatest generation. The greatest generation raised the boomers, and so I think there's a lot of blame to be placed on a lot of things. Life was just different, and I think there was a time where technology was just where it should have been. We were connected, but not too much, and I wish it stayed that way. Because you didn't know any better. You know, it was just the way
Yeah.
that it was just the way that you went about your day, it was just the way that you went about your life, really was, yeah, you had your technology, but it had its time and its place.
Well, I
And
see some of the people here also saying that they have,
oh,
they've
there's our
gotten rid of their smartphones
fireworks.
and stuff, which is pretty cool. I see Helene here saying that she ditched their smartphones and got dumb phones, and I think that's pretty cool, and it's brave. I think as Matt said too, I think I would have a very hard time. I'm not going to lie, but I think that's a very cool thing to do, and I
Mm.
highly respect that, and I hope more people do it. I mean, obviously, as someone who has a YouTube channel, it's kind of a, you know, I guess what do you call
What's
it? Masochistic to say that you shouldn't be on the internet, but I think it is. I really hope that's where the world goes. I hope that they leave this online world at least slowly, at least not become so addicted to it as we are now. And then, yeah, touch grass, say a prayer, walk around a little bit, see the world. And I think there's the imaginary world that is online is really damaging, in really many, many different ways. I mean, not even just talking about pornography or, all the sorts of evil on the internet, but even just how you can actually act like a different person, right? I mean, you can be a totally different person on the internet. You can be a really tough guy on Twitter, and then you meet them in person. It's like, wow, what a little squirrel, and I think that's it's not a good thing. And I think people can hide behind it. And I hope that we slowly at least get away from that entire culture.
What's weird too, one thing that I was thinking of was how we and I agree with Father's point too. The generalizations are kind of hard because there are good and bad in every single group. Completely. I mean, people say Generation Z is waking up. Generation Z is going to save us. There's a lot of bad Generation Zs. Let me tell you, more
Oh, bad
progressive than people
millennials.
that I've. There's bad everybody. Um, bad everything. Um, but I think for a generation such as ours that grew up without this technology, we're just as addicted as the younger generations are. I mean, yeah, we've talked about this before, and even a little bit today. I grew up without no phone. I went
Yeah.
out into the world and didn't have a phone, nothing, and yet I'm just as connected, I think, as really anybody these days. So it would be just as hard for me to abandon. People say, "Well, you grew up without all this stuff. You can just let it go." I don't know anymore. My brain must be different, or so. I don't think I can just unconnect as I was, because I mean, I remember waking up think about it. We would wake up, have an entire day to ourselves, whatever, go to bed, and never be on a computer or a phone. I've
Yeah.
years like that, where I remember
Right.
waking up in the morning and we used to read the back of a cereal box for entertainment
Dude,
in the morning.
totally.
In the morning, and I
Yes.
remember just looking at the box and
Yes.
playing the maze on the back of it, and I
Man,
don't
and
know,
we
just
we
going
would
about your
read
day. I
we
don't
would
know.
we would go to the table and we would read we would read like encyclopedias, man. I'm not
I did.
kidding. Like as kids,
I
we'd read
did that too.
encyclopedias. Yeah,
My
right. I mean, it's like you're actually getting actual knowledge. Amazing.
my father had a very expensive set that was like the 30 volume set or whatever, and I remember I would just grab a book. They were like all maroon. I would grab one, open it up, and there'd be pictures, like illustrations of the things that they were talking about, and I would look through those. Even as a fairly young kid, not knowing what I was reading or comprehending what I was reading, but I would just look at the illustrations and read about
Exactly.
whatever was in there, and then yeah, you played with your friends, you watched a little TV at night, and that was really the day. So so strange as to what life was like. Predictions for 2026, though, Kev.
I
What
was
do
just
you have
gonna
any? Do
say
you have
that.
any big
Yeah.
ones?
Well, what did we say? We got to write these down, Matt, because last year I could have sworn I said that Bergoglio would die, but that was probably not
I think
that
we
big
did
of
do.
a. I think, yeah, maybe you did too. I don't know, but I
We
think
both, yeah, we did talk about that. We did. We both agreed.
I think
We
so.
both
Yeah,
said
that
it. We both
sounds right.
agreed that yeah, he wouldn't make it anymore.
And he didn't.
But
And
now,
so, I mean, what's
he
the
did. Yes.
yeah, what's the big? I mean, I'm not going to say Previous is going to die. I don't think that's very likely. I do think there is a possibility that JD Vance will be president next year.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it's going to happen because I don't want to like predict that and have the
And why do
FBI
you?
knocking
Any
on my
reason
door.
why?
I
You
don't
think?
know.
Do you know
I just
something, Kev?
I just kind of get this feeling that Trump's kind of running out of steam, and maybe he's just going to be like,
What is
yeah,
he going to do?
I don't know, just step
Resign?
down, resign. Yeah,
Oh, I don't know if he would do that.
I don't know. This is a long shot, man. This is my
Okay, it's just your
fake word.
bold prediction.
This is my long shot prediction that I think by the end of 2026,
We will have
JD
a new
Vance
president.
will be the president, and the Republican Party will be in a very big trouble after the midterm elections.
Mm. What's interesting with that is I remember seeing that they had him at a 50 something percent. He has a 42-point lead over his next challenger in the 2028 election. That's one thing that I think is bad about American politics is regardless of who's the president, you don't have a lot of time to do much of anything. You have to win your election and then immediately act because the midterms come up within a year. They start campaigning. The midterms happen. You have no time whatsoever to do anything. It just doesn't stop. It's just too short. I think a president for 4 years is kind of dumb because what can you do? Your hands are often tied halfway through.
Fair point. Yeah.
And then there goes that, And then the pendulum swings.
Yeah.
Yeah, or 30. The
Just get a
30-year
dictator.
reign.
Just do dictators. Come on.
It's just it's so no. I agree with you. I think the Democrats are going to just crush it in a year from now, and I remember thinking the Republican Party was dead after Mitt Romney lost. I remember thinking because it was George Bush who said, "I'm going to be the last Republican ever to win the nomination." And I thought, and I think you and I have mentioned this before, Kev, I thought Obama and his movement was absolutely unstoppable. It was just too big.
Yeah.
There were too many people thinking like him, too many people involved in that movement. And the Republican, I'm not a Republican, but the Republican Party just was just toast. There was absolutely no way. And it seemed like Hillary Clinton was going to walk her way to the White House in 2016. And then how much of a shift happened where not only did Trump win, but he won 3 times in a huge Republican wins that were just not seen since Reagan won some maps.
Right.
So it's just funny how you're at death's door one day, and then now the Democrat Party, as I just mentioned, was unstoppable with Obama, and now their numbers are their worst numbers in over 100 years. Over 100 years, their polling is as bad as they have since like 1922.
Well,
I
they
think
hitched
I think it was.
their carriage to Kamala Harris into these weirdos. I mean, like Tim Walz, for goodness sake, he's not just a bad governor; he's a weirdo. He's just like a weird dude. And I think that's just they just made so many dumb decisions that yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I guess when I'm saying that the Republican Party is going to be in shambles, I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, what's the Democratic Party? Maybe people just aren't going to vote. I mean, that is very. I think that's actually going to be what happens. Midterms are going to get just absolutely no turnout.
I wonder what would happen if not a single person in the country voted. Just no votes. We don't know what to do because nobody voted. They would force one guy to go and vote. And then
vote for themselves.
Right. Yeah. But maybe you're right.
Put the cats in charge.
Maybe nobody will vote. I think no, I don't think Donald Trump is going to resign. I don't think Vance will be president in 2026, but I do think the Republican Party will fracture. I do think that you're going to see it not only at the national level. Well, I don't know. Can you call midterms now? I guess you can. They're local, but they're also now. It's kind of both sides of the same
I guess
coin.
the national.
But I think you'll see.
Yeah.
Sure, but I think you'll see a big fracture because I think what's interesting is that Trump's support among Gen Z has just cratered. But the thing is the people who were Gen Z who were with Trump, and I think he's down like 40-something points with them. They're not going to Buttigieg or Newsom or Kamala Harris. They're not going there either. They're kind of just going away.
But I tell you what, though, I have a prediction on what Trump could do, and maybe he will do to fix that in 2026. But first, I actually want to share. I didn't tell Matt about this. This is a total surprise for Matt. But we have a kind of a sponsor for the show. It is an unpaid sponsorship, everybody. So chill out, YouTube. I don't have to put sponsorship. It's pretty cool though. This is from a Catholic lady down in Florida. And Marie, who is a fantastic artist, and she just finished a hand-drawn Images of the Saints book, which as you can see on the screen right now, hopefully anyone who is watching, they
There's
are
no image
really
of them.
beautiful pictures for coloring. It's a coloring book with little stories of each of the saints. And again, as a dad who has little children who love to color, these are really nice. It's actually hard to find nice hand drawings that children can color because a lot of them are now being done by AI and they look really strange. So these are really nice. I highly recommend it. Any parents out there, you know what I'm talking about here. And again, as always, it's great to support a Catholic business. So again, please go and check out her Etsy. I will attach it here in the comments for anyone who's watching live, and I will attach it to the show once we are no longer live, so that you can go and check out her Etsy and get a children's coloring book and help her to continue to grow as a young mother and Catholic.
Yeah, Kev, nothing you showed came up. It's just fireworks.
What?
Mm.
It said it showed my screen.
No, it was just yeah, and I see someone in the comments too. No, it's just your fireworks screen.
All right.
Nothing.
Oh,
nothing
you know what?
happened.
I think I know why. Oh,
Try it again.
Okay, well, I'll run through. I'm going to run through this.
Try it again. Yeah, do it again. We'll try it
Try
again.
it again. I'll try it again.
I have
I don't.
another
I'm just going
screen
to do
here.
it
so go ahead.
silently. Okay. Do you see it?
No, just fireworks.
Okay, that's
Now, what's funny is if I
weird.
switch to the browser where I'm in the video with you, yes, I see it. But if I go to the YouTube on my other screen, it's just fireworks.
You still don't see it.
No,
Wait, maybe this Riverside is not going to work because I don't understand. Like on my screen, it shows everything.
I see it. I see it when I look at our stream here on the screen.
That
But when I switch it to what the people are watching see, it's nothing.
strange. Oh, well.
Maybe in the free version you can't do this.
Well, no, it's not a free version. It's the free trial.
I see the German.
Oh, now they see it. They say they see it now. That's weird. Did it like need approval or something? Well, I don't know, guys. We're still figuring out this program. It is a new program that I'm
Heide
trying to figure out. And here you go. Sorry, it's in German.
Oh, there it is. It's up there now.
You guys can read it in English. I promise you.
Can you read the first word?
Handgezeichnete Bilder der Heiligen.
What does
Einmal
that
durch
mean?
für Kinder, Buch 1. A hand-drawn picture book of the saints. But
That's
as you
very
see,
nice.
guys, it's very nice. I think it is very nice. So
Children should
there's
be
other
coloring.
things we're going to promote from her and her husband actually in the coming weeks. So definitely recommend you go check that out. And hopefully next time the screen share will actually work. So yeah, let's get back. And Matt, now I have to remember where I was trying to go with this as I get a picture back up. I think that Trump, in order to get Gen Z, I think he's going to do some sort of a crazy tax cut. Probably, right before the midterms, I don't know, say July or August or something, he's going to say, we're going to end all income tax, or we're going to
They have floated that
all-
idea.
it's something like that. I think he's going to do something big, and I do think he's going to keep touting until, in the meantime, he's going to keep trying to make peace, and he's going to shut down the border. I hope if he starts to actually ship out
Excuse me.
Somalians and others, now is the perfect time. I hope he does it, because now he actually does have public favor in that regard. And I think if he starts doing that and literally starts sending them home to Somalia, he's going to get a lot of people on his side. And then I think by summer, if he's smart, which I think he typically is, if he cares still, which that's what I'm not sure about, then he will do something big and something with income tax, or I don't know, something of the sort. What does everyone think? What do you guys think in the chat that they might do, Trump might do to garner more love from Gen Z and others?
I guess I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I do think there's going to be a fraction, and I do think that I think the Republican Party tried to regroup after 2012, because all the signs and even some polls pointed to a Mitt Romney win that year, and he got crushed. And I think they did some soul searching and they did some reflection as to what really went wrong. And I think I don't know. I think one thing that I remember was in 2012. there was a lot of the same old people. Like here we are looking at this guy again and that guy again. They're all 80 years old. And then in
Mm-hmm.
2016, it was a lot of the younger, a little bit more, I guess you can call them conservative Republicans that came out on stage. That was, I remember at the time for me being a little bit more of a breath of fresh air because I'm like, wow, I don't have to. I felt like, I regret this now, but I voted for Ted Cruz, and I felt like for the first time thinking to myself, like, I actually have a candidate that I like. I actually have a candidate that is staunchly conservative. Mistake on my part, but I thought that I found somebody really cool and really really good there who actually had a chance to win. I liked Ron Paul back then. I liked some of these people, but Ted Cruz actually had a shot, and I thought like, wow, finally, somebody who can win. But I wonder the candidates they're going to bring out again. I think the Republican Party is missing with their push to. I think they're losing their base of white men. I think they've gone so much to here's this Hispanic woman from Mexico. Here's this Pakistani woman who just came over as an illegal immigrant. Here they've given the
Matt,
platform to so many of
I'm
these
going to be
people. I
honest
think
with
a
you.
lot of young people are getting turned off. Yes, good.
Sorry,
Good.
people are not going to like this. Some of the people here, and I apologize to anyone this offends, but I think part
I
of the
don't.
problem is Trump has a lot of women in his ear. I just do. I think a lot of Trump's decisions seem to be made by women, and I think Trump has this weird
Susan
weakness where
Wiles,
he seems like he puts people in positions of power because they look good. I'm sorry, like Pam
not a
Bondi.
bad thing.
Well, it can be.
Oh, it can be. It
I
can
mean,
be.
come on. If you're putting, I mean, Pam Bondi, like,
He got the
what is she
Fox News
doing?
guy as
I
the
mean,
Secretary
yeah,
of War. Or
exactly.
whatever.
And it's just like, it seems like he's done this with a lot of people. His secretary, or not his secretary, his attorney,
Carolyn
what's her
Levitt.
name?
Oh,
Haba. No, that's the
oh,
press secretary. And she's actually pretty smart and she's pretty sharp. But
she
yeah,
should go
again, it's
home.
like he seems to make these decisions because they look good. I don't know if it's because he likes to be surrounded by good looking people. I don't honestly know, but
Not a bad
it's like,
thing.
man, honestly, I wouldn't mind some more Tom Homans.
Well,
Give me a good old Tom Homan who's just like, dude, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna shut down the freaking border. He's just like a rough guy who's seen the world, and
he
he
was the
doesn't have to look good.
he
I
was the
want
police
more of
chief
that.
of New York City.
Was he really? Oh, interesting. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. Or one of those kinds of people. Yeah. It's not that I don't want an ugly administration. I think we need younger people who actually
Yeah,
look good,
that's
though.
fair.
People young, attractive, people
As
who
long as they're not in it just because they're
need,
attractive.
but they need aura. We need or Barack Obama had aura.
It's true.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
We need someone who's young, has aura, who can articulate very, very well, who's a gifted orator. You just need that. I think. I think people.
Are you
really,
saying I
really
should move
need
back
that.
to the U.S., man?
You should do it. It's time, Kev. It's
Right,
time.
I need to be president.
It's
Yeah.
it's time. But I also think that as I think the Republican Party will fracture, and I think that there's a lot of people who are going to try to. I think an actual push for a legit third party is about to. I don't know if I could say bloom, but come into being. I think the Republican Democrat paradigm is about to break. I truly do. I don't know
Do
if
you think
it's
that
not
didn't
going to happen
happen
in
with Trump
2020.
already? You don't. I mean,
Well,
like,
he made
is it
the thing is though is that
Republicans right
Trump.
now?
No, Trump made the Republican Party his movement. I think there's going to be a third vote. I think there's going to be
Hmm.
Democrats, Republicans, and something else that
Okay,
people are
fair
going to get
enough.
to choose. That people are going to get to choose from. I mean, we've had people. Ross Perot, I think it was, cost Bush
Yeah,
reelection 92. If I'm
sure.
remembering correctly, because he pulled over so many votes that Clinton got elected. I think there's going to be somebody of that caliber that is going to rise up that Gen Z might sort of like and might give enough, not enough to win, but I think there's going to be a conversation that there's another view. No, it's no longer Democrat or Republican, but another party that's actually not independent either. I don't know what it might be, but I think it's on the brink. I think we might see it. I'm not saying next year, but I think it's coming because I think there's a lot of. I mean, even when you look at demographics, the way generations vote is often very, very, very split. And people aren't satisfied. You have so many people who are just stuck on, well, CNN says or Fox News. That generation's not going to be here too much longer, and there's going to
Yeah.
be. I mean, Joe Rogan, people say, helped Trump win.
Well, Matt, look
You
look
know,
at the biggest podcast or the biggest
Joe
sources.
Rogan.
What is even the word? I mean, in the top five, I think, or top four. who is the top five? The top one of the other guys is that military guy. What's his name? But I think
I'm not
it
sure
was
who you mean.
Rogan, Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, and what's the guy's name? Um, Military guy who's really straight face, straight laced, straight
Not
faced.
Jack Pacific.
No. I don't actually love his show, but he's got a huge show. He's just ex-military. It
Uh,
doesn't matter anyway. I mean, but the point being that these huge shows are really by your kind of bonkers people. You know, it would have been considered really extreme, especially like Fuentes and Candace Owens. And I'm not promoting them. I'm just saying I think that's the reality. You know, that is where we're at, where your fringe voices are becoming the norm. And that's going to change a lot. And I don't know, again, if it's going to be for the better, but it's going to change, you know. And so you're going to have, I think you're right, Matt. You're gonna have a lot different opinions. You're not going to have Fox News. Everyone who watches Fox News votes for Trump. Everyone who watches CNN votes for Kamala. It's just not going to happen anymore. I think you're totally right about that. I think it's going to really be strangely split, where people are going to actually have their own opinions.
That's what I think.
Their own opinions based off of Nick Fuentes, you know.
That's what I think Trump needs to pivot a bit more to. He keeps saying the failing New York Times. Nobody cares about the New York Times. People don't get the New York Times newspaper in the mail and read it. He needs to. I think that's one thing that I would advise him is to stop with these old school boomer type lines that he's just saying again and again and again. Nobody cares about the failing New York Times. Nobody cares about the CBS poll. None of that. It's all dying. It's all dying. Go on Joe Rogan. Elon, remember the Elon Musk Twitter space with Trump? I mean, that had like 1 billion listens. The numbers were through the roof. People are listening to this in their cars and at work and all of that. It's just a new generation, and I think he should pivot a bit more to them.
Well, off of the politics, we got a couple minutes here left. Thanks for everyone in the chat for being here. We appreciate you all. We are also going to be doing a live show on Saturday at 2 p.m. Matt might come. Actually, don't know. Matt, I don't know if
I might. Who are there guests?
Yeah.
Who is?
It's going to be my dad, Father Geckel, Eric are all going to be there the whole time.
Eric,
I'm hoping to have on Mario Dirksen for a quick stop by. Maybe Anthony Abate for a couple minutes. Kind of what you and I are doing.
I got to talk to a fellow Paisan. What time is he? What time is he coming on?
I haven't figured it out yet. He said he's showing people around New York that day, but he would hop on his phone for a few minutes and say hi or give his opinions on 2026. I wanted to ask him about the craziness of that. What was going on? There was something. Oh, the new like openly gay. Was it Archbishop of New York or is it Cardinal? Archbishop, right?
Oh,
I'm coming from Chicago, but
and I'm a Cubs fan and I like pizza.
I am gonna really love your. Oh
hey,
my gosh, man!
You know what his pizza reference was, Kev. You know it. Pizzagate.
Oh yeah, definitely Pizzagate. No, I honestly
I don't.
I don't totally think so. But that guy is. Oh man, that is. That was actually what I wanted to ask Anthony about. It's like, give me your opinion on your new.
I want to be on with him when we talk about that. That's the time slot that I need. That's the time slot that I need.
Well, I don't know when he can do it, but I will. We'll try to figure that out. We'll try to work it out so that the two Italians are on at the same time. But it should be a cool show.
Mr. Kiss Me With Your Mouth is still out there as well. And he's, that's the thing is how many people of prominence have great authority now under Prevost. He's put all these people in. He's doing all of these things. He's just very conniving and he's putting them all in these spots and they're all doing these. Oh, man. Who knows messy. What he's going to do this year?
Well, now I guess that was my next question was what would you predict from the Conciliar Church in 2026? What's the crazy what I mean there was a lot this year. I mean again like the Kiss Me With Your Mouth thing, that's crazy stuff, man. I mean it's like one of your
he's
top
released a couple
officials in the Vatican is writing pornography.
He's not just the top, he's the dicastery of faith guy.
Yeah, he's like number 3, right? Number 2 or 3.
He's like JD. It's like this guy is supposed to be the line of defense against heresy. That's who this is. People are forgetting. This isn't like the floor sweeper. This is like the guy that's going to protect. The gates of hell is this. The line of defense is is him. Mr. Smooch is over here.
I would love to ask Anthony that too. Anthony better watch out. We're gonna have some pretty tough questions for him. It's like so do you think this can actually be your archbishop, and can this actually be the head of the dicastery of faith? Yeah, no, no.
I mean,
How about not?
we'd have a great time.
It would.
I think I know we have like 5-ish minutes, but he doesn't. The people who were crying, liberate the Latin Mass, liberate the Latin Mass. Prevost doesn't seem to care. I think
No, he
the
doesn't know what it
cries are
is.
falling in deaf. I think that's very true too. He doesn't really know what it is. There are people here, Kev. I was shocked about this. So I remember, and I'm not gonna. This is be 30 seconds, but when I discovered the Latin Mass, I thought all of the clergy knew what this was. Like, I'm going to go talk to this guy and this priest and this about the Latin Mass, and they were all very confused. They would say things like, "Yeah, I heard it was once in Latin." Like, what? You mean you don't know? Like, I'm telling you something. So I think truly, I mean, we are so engrossed into the Novus Ordo Missae and its culture and its religion that I don't even think these people even really know that it once was in Latin, or maybe they have a general knowledge of it, but they don't see the point. And what I think people fail to realize is that the percentage of Catholics who actually attend the traditional mass, wherever it is so tiny, 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 tiny. It's not even a blip on their map. I know people who I would meet who would come from other countries, Philippines, for example. And this husband and wife that I knew, they'd say to me, "We didn't have that at all in my country. There is no Latin Mass in the Philippines. We never heard about it." So it's
I think he
smaller than
sees
our
it like
Twitter bubble.
his ancestors. Like his ancestors spoke, say, Italian or German. And it's like, that's nice, but I speak English. I think that's just how he thinks. It's something that was, but you don't even consider it. It's like, oh yeah, okay, what for the mass Latin? I don't think he even considers it. I think he is so much, a son of the entire system, not even just Vatican II, but just of the Conciliar Church. He is truly purely Novus Ordo.
Yeah.
And you see it clearly. I mean, with his gay appointees and with his, constant groveling towards the New World Order. And I mean, it shows all the time. And I mean, it's so interesting because of his different style than Bergoglio. But I don't think he's been any less extreme, has he? Not in
No,
what he's done.
I think he's about the same. You made the point, and you're right. He's not like bringing the naked witches. He doesn't really do that. But he's the same, really. Otherwise, I think he's just. It's just the same sort of stuff. But if we want to get that show up on Saturday, and well, who knows what they do behind the closed doors?
Fair.
I don't know. I don't know.
Probably don't want to.
But yeah, if on Saturday, if we want to have that show up, we can have a lot to talk about and review.
Yeah, you should come by.
I mean, remember Cardinal Dolan, and I've posted a few videos that I did get from Peter Diamond. I give him credit.
Oh, man.
But this guy Cardinal Dolan, and Anthony made this post that he's a real man's man. It was a 2-decade-long horror show of heresy, philosophy. I don't care what his voice sounds like. He was an absolute heretic.
Yeah.
And promoted Antichrist quite literally. So
crazy. And I've seen him pose. Like, I mean, I think he goes to the
with
gym,
the Rockettes.
but
He
man,
loves to pose with the Rockettes.
The way this guy poses, that's not. I'm sorry, it's not how a straight man poses.
They're all like that.
I don't know. Okay, maybe he's straight, but I don't know. It's just that the short sleeves, tilting your body a little bit. It's just so effeminate. It's man, gross. Anyway, yeah, it will be an interesting conversation. You should definitely stop by. Everyone should stop by again. That'll be 2 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. It should be a really fun show. Again, there'll be the primary 4 of us, and we'll be bringing people on as we go, kind of like Stephen Cox did a couple weeks ago, which
was
pretty
great.
Cool.
The 2 middle people were awful, but you were great.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Whatever her name was.
Everyone who came after me.
Turn her mic off.
Yeah. Can they just keep Kevin on the whole time?
And the guy, how do I forget his name? The 2 who were last American. Well, he was pretty cool, but I liked
Reform and
well, whatever. I know his name. Any other time, I'm just blanking.
Yeah.
Know that
they were good. I thought they were all interesting guests.
Pretty
Cox, he has a good mix of people, which is fun. I'm glad to be one of his people that he calls, which is pretty cool.
The lady in between you two was just insufferable. She was brutal.
No,
I tried to tell him to turn her
win 'em
mic
all.
off. You can't win them all.
Yeah,
tried.
right. She had the echo too. Yeah, that was
Oh, did she?
problematic.
I look past that. She was one of those people. Oh man, I'm gonna go on a whole rant here. I shouldn't
Do it.
She was one of those people who think the 4D chess is coming, or the Project 2036 is on its way. Boomer. She definitely is just watching Handy tonight. You could bet.
It's so funny how that's so insulting. I bet you watch Hannity.
She probably watches Hannity tonight.
How dare you? How dare you? Yeah. Matt, let's not get too personal here. Let's not.
We'll get
let's not
personal.
Bring Hannity. Let's not bring Hannity into this.
Remember Bill
Bill
O'Reilly?
A little low. Oh yeah.
The No Spin Zone. I remember that show.
I actually kind of like Bill O'Reilly, though. I think his opinions are stupid. His delivery is pretty epic.
Originally, he was a bit more balanced. I felt like he would kind of just say the news.
Yeah.
But
and he had a pretty. I think Bill O'Reilly actually said what he thought. I think he was pretty honest. I think, again, I don't agree with his opinions. But I think he's interesting. I think he's pretty. You want
to hear a fun fact?
Open book.
Want to hear a fun fact? I went to a New York Yankees game in 2012, and I was sitting next to Bill O'Reilly.
Oh, wild.
Donald Trump. And Glenn Beck.
No wonder you're part of this.
They were no wonder why I mean, you want to know what's interesting is that a bunch of us went to the game. It was a Yankees playoff game, and I was with my aunt, and she goes, "Look, there's Bill O'Reilly, Donald Trump," and I'm like, "They're not sitting up here with us. They're if they're even here, they're probably in a suite or whatever." About an inning later, on this big screen out in the outfield, was the camera shot of there they were. So I had my shot. This was before Trump. This was around when Trump was saying that Obama was born in Malaysia or whatever he was kind of saying.
Right.
It was around that time. But yeah, I was right next to Bill O'Reilly, Donald Trump, and Glenn Beck.
A moment of fame.
My moment of fame.
Moment of
fame.
fame.
I was right there.
I should have shaken some hands.
We couldn't get to them.
That's probably true. Well, on that note, I guess next time you're at a baseball game with Bill O'Reilly and Donald Trump, well, shake their hands. Do whatever it takes, man. Do whatever it takes. Tell them you're in the CIA. They'll let you.
Yeah.
Well, everyone in the comment section, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. Father, if you're still here, we appreciate you the most because, well, we have to say that because you're a priest. And I'm kidding. I love Father. And we'll see Father on Saturday, which will be a lot of fun. We might do a show with a couple of us on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time talking about Ireland's new proposed law banning social media for children under the age of 16, which is a really interesting discussion. That's why we want to talk about it. I think very nuanced. Should a government be able to do that? Should they do it at all? Should parents do it, etc.? Pretty cool. I think that could be an interesting conversation, but we're not sure yet if we do it, though we will do it on Friday at 2. And for Matt, I wish you all a very happy New Year, and hope that anyone who's making, if you're trying to change something, you're making resolutions, try to, go do it. Really, really do it. Make it big or small, but try to stay through it because I think that's the interesting thing. I think it's better to follow through with a small resolution than to make big ones that you don't follow through with. And I'm sure Matt would agree with me there. So make small ones that they're going to push you a little bit, but that you can keep, because I think that's a big part of it, that you, that then you don't always have to do it on January 1st. You can just keep continuing to make resolutions every day of your life and continue to make them. Anyway, rant over. Matt, we will see you next time, maybe on Saturday with Anthony Abate and others. Everyone else, God bless you all. We'll see you then.